it's our world, 'cause it's our world.
No, for right now. Good morning. Today we stand on the ancestral lands of the Shawnee, Miami, and others whose names are not known to us. They were removed unjustly, and we continue to be the beneficiaries of that removal. This statement is a small step of beginning the process of working to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. Heritage is currently working on a formal land acknowledgement where we hope to join the growing list of faith communities who wholly reject the premise of the doctrine of discovery and take a deep look at the ways that we have justified colonialism, domination, slavery, and the genocide of Indigenous people. Mimi, April, and I are on that team. If anyone else feels called to join us, let us know after the service. It's our tradition to call in the directions. Stand now as Frank will lead us. We're going to face that back door that you came in.
Come on in. Oh, this has to be here. Spirits of the East, element of air, of the winds that blow across the lands of new beginnings and births. Everything that is born comes up in this direction. Babies, puppies, ideas, friendship. Welcome, spirits of the East.
Mike. Spirits of the South, place of passion, the element of fire whose warm breath reminds us of summer days. Ignite our hearts with love. Welcome, spirits of the South.
Spirits of the West, the element of water, the land of the setting sun, of letting go and of death. The cycle of life tells us that all things must die and move in this direction. Plants, people, animals, stars, and cars. Welcome, spirits of the West.
Spirits of the North, place of quiet, stillness, of cave and deep earth, place of thankfulness for the knowledge and blessings that have come to us with time. Welcome, spirits of the North.
Facing the center. Spirits of the above and the below, of the angelic realms, the place of union, love, and reverence. We open our hearts and join with all in love. Welcome. It has begun.
Bear with me while I get situated here. Good morning. Good morning. I welcome everyone who is here in the sanctuary, everyone who is here on Zoom, and each person who views this service in the future once it's posted on our church website. I offer a special welcome to any first-time visitors. We're so glad you're here with us today. I invite you to sign our guest book, which is in the lobby if you haven't already, and the link to our online guest book is in the Zoom chat. This morning's greeter from the Board of Trustees is John Sandman. They will be glad to answer any questions and give a tour of the building if you'd like one. My name is Steph Tacey, and I'm part of the Earth-based Pagan group offering today's service, honoring this great planet, our blue boat home, the day after Earth Day. You know, I feel like every day should be considered Earth Day, with each species weaving their strands together into one strong, nourishing web of life for all. Louise Laurie shared this wise Wendell Berry saying with me that explains this concept well. Nothing is itself without everything else. You know, this community thrives in the same way. We are many individuals, each with our own belief system, coming together, weaving ourselves into one strong church family. By ensuring Heritage Universalist Unitarian Church thrives, we all benefit from this environment, which supports us in our journey. This concept is evident as you look through the announcements on the back of your order of service. We have a lot happening here at Heritage. Just in, there is a change to the banned book club announcement. There is no in-person discussion today. We will meet on Zoom on Tuesday night, and if you need the Zoom link, please see Lacey. And now, here is Aaron Carpenter with a live announcement about one of those important events.
Good morning. I squeaked in here just in the nick of time, and I have to get this off my conscience. I parked in the first-time visitor spot. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Tracy Jo. But I am excited to share some details of our auction. I hope it goes without saying at this point, but the date is May 13th. It is from 6 to 9 p.m. here at Heritage, and it's our biggest fundraiser of the year, so we're really excited to see all of your warm faces. Today, I thought, you know, maybe it's been a few years and one pandemic since you went to your last auction, or maybe like me, you are not a first-time visitor, but relatively new to the Heritage community. Or maybe you're an auction veteran and you're wondering what's new this year. So this morning, I got you. Let's walk together through the 2023 Heritage Auction experience. You will walk through the doors of the church, and the smells of cumin, oregano, and toasted yellow corn will greet you, offering a hint of the delectable dinner to come. Also there to greet you will be John Sandman and the auction committee. You will register your form of payment with them and receive your auction paddle, which will serve as your charge card for any purchases or donations you may incur throughout your experience. What's that, you say? You didn't buy your admission ticket in advance? No worries. There is no admission this year. The party is free for old and young. Please bring your whole family. In the Great Hall, if you crane your neck toward the kitchen, you may hear the sizzle of ground beef, plant-based meats, and blistering peppers. We're serving up a taco bar. Dinner is free, so you'll load up your plate and pull up a chair next to Heritage friends, new and old. Feel free to offer to pick up a round of drinks for the table. Your first drink is free, and your next one is just $2, charged to your paddle. Yes, that's $2. Any Girl Scouts in the room, please cover your ears here, but you can't even get a good box of cookies these days for $2. So this is really the deal of the year. You likely won't need to strain your ear to hear the gales of laughter, squeals of delight, and squeaks of the popular Heeley shoes coming from the back patio, where a lively kids' carnival awaits the littles and the little at heart. Games, prizes, face painting, sugary treats. The kids will party hard and sleep even harder, parents, so you're welcome. While you're debating a second round of tacos, you'll stroll through the silent auction set up in the Great Hall and place your bid on things like, I'm going to leave this hanging, and we will preview the specific auction items later at a later date, so the plot thickens. You can also, you'll sign up for experiences, but wait, there's more. Once last call for the silent auction has boomed through the air, the party will move into this very sanctuary for the return of the live auction. Our auction MC will be Bruce Bowden. He will guide us through what's sure to be a delightfully animated, hopefully competitive, but in the most you way, contest to see who will become the winning bidders, which could be you. And again, we'll preview some of those exciting live auction items at a later date. But here's a hint, I did hear there is some sort of like a vacation getaway in the live event itself. So just to wet your whistle a bit. As the live event concludes, you'll head toward the checkout and reconcile your paddle. You will marvel at the many delightful experiences you shared with your heritage friends, and you'll leave a little more full in body and in spirit, and maybe a little bit lighter in your wallet. And we're very excited to have you. So see you May 13th.
Thank you, Erin. We're all looking forward to our annual auction fundraiser. So we began our time of worship calling the directions. Our focus now returns to worship. So I'm going to ask you to please silence or turn off your electronic devices so there are no distractions. And now, please join me as we center ourselves. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Feel your feet connect with the floor, which is connected to the earth below. Let the sense of being grounded to all that is flow through you as I offer our call to worship. Nourished by Jay Woolen. When I look up into the night sky, I am in awe of all that is. There in a faraway galaxy, a star has died, yet it is still bright for my eyes to see and make a wish upon. When I walk in the ocean, I feel the waves rush across my feet, and I feel a certain peace with the world. I peer out into the endless horizon, knowing they came from a place beyond where I can see. When I sit around the fire, I feel its warmth enter me without ever touching me, and I feel safe from the unknown wherever I am. I take in a breath, and I know I am in the present moment. All of these wonders that move us and make us feel alive and make us dream and make us wonder, let us protect them so that my children, our children, everyone's children, my grandchildren, our grandchildren, everyone's grandchildren, for generations upon generations, will also have the chance to look beyond the horizon and marvel at the wonder of existence and continue to be nourished by our home, the earth. Come, let us feel, dream, and wonder as we worship together.
Why do we gather in a circle? Why have we taken the time to arrange the sanctuary in this way? Across the Atlantic Ocean, in caves of southern France and northern Spain, the oldest known prehistoric art made by our distant ancestors long before the impressive animal renderings are circles. These and many other of the oldest cave markings are at least 40,000 years old, and they are understood to be lunar calendars. As human consciousness arose, so did the observation that our whole world is an endlessly repeating pattern of circles. Our ancestors saw it in the skies, the sun and the moon and the stars. They saw it in the seasons across the land, in the movements and migrations of birds and animals. Our ancestors saw it in themselves. They instinctively sat with fire in the dark, not in a rectangle or a square, but in a circle with the light at the center. They sat facing each other, everyone equally placed, equally participating. They looked each other in the eye. Living our lives in a linear fashion is a relatively recent concept that arose with monotheism, patriarchy, and empire. Choosing to sit in a circle is a physical way that we can step out of modern human forgetfulness and place ourselves quite literally in a position to see and be as our ancestors did, back when humans still understood their inherent interconnectedness to all things. And this is why we sit in a circle.
So while we're waiting for the projector to come up, you can just look around the room at the flowers, at the things in the center of the circle, at our round window, at our round altar today, and just see all the circles. See all the ways that we are connected. And you can come to standing. We're going to sing a song. So if you want to rise. This is the linear world that we live in. We like to have written words. When we have our women's singing circle, we generally have an oral tradition. We just sing. But since the words have appeared, here they are.
I hear the voices of the grandfather calling me. I hear the voices of my grandmother calling me. Wake up, she says, wake up, listen, 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 listen. May the waters all run clear, may the mountains be unspoiled, may the air be clean, may the trees grow tall, may the earth be shared by all. I hear the voices of my grandfather calling me. I
Listen, 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 listen. May the waters all run clear. May the mountains be unspoiled. May the air be clean. May the trees grow tall. May the earth be shared by all. I hear the voices of my ancestors calling me. I hear the voice of my ancestors calling me. Wake up, they say wake up, listen, 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 listen. May the waters all run clear. May the mountains be unspoiled. May the air be clean. May the trees grow tall. May the earth be shared by all.
You stay standing for our covenant. In more intimate circles, some of us have shared with each other that sometimes that word and with God, those words, don't work for every person. And so as you use, just like we change the words of hymns often, sometimes we sing hymns slowly because we have to look ahead and see which words we're going to change, which words resonate, which words don't. I've heard many people share that they substitute in words that work for them. And so we invite you to do that same thing. What word or words will work for you? Personally, I say with God and the goddess. Some people say the divine. Some say with holy. Or some just say with all. So we invite you to say whatever word works for you and resonates in your body today, because next week, next year, could be different. By this covenant, we affirm that
Love is the spirit of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God.
and the goddess.
So love is the spirit of this church. With this one statement, our covenant reveals what is most important to us. We hold love as our primary focus in everything we do. In that mindset, or rather heart set, it's as natural as breathing for us to be a loving community that cheers each other on as we reach for big dreams, holds one another in love during our sorrows, and celebrates our joys with zest. Candles of Community is a special tradition that we hold dear. It is the time during our service when we as individuals are invited to share our dreams, our sorrows, and our joys with each other. I'll begin by reading those candle requests that were emailed prior to the service. And then after those have been shared, anyone in the sanctuary with a joy or sorrow may come forward. The chat is also now open for anyone on Zoom to type in a joy or sorrow, and I'll read them after the candles here in the sanctuary have been shared. Louise will light a candle on our altar for each candle request. And please remember that you can always come up and request that a candle be lit in silence for you. And our birthday jar is available for all kinds of anniversary wishes. And now I will light one final candle to support and embrace all the joys and sorrows that we hold silently in our hearts.
Now, if you'll bear with me, we have to do a little scene change, but you know how that goes at the theater. Back once we get things in place. Okay. So, just to be sure I say all the right things, so. Where would you like these? We could put those up in front of the chair. Okay. So I'd like to ask the kids to come forward that would like to help me, because we're going to talk about, this is Mopsy, and Mopsy is a rabbit, but Mopsy could also be anyone. And we're going to talk about, since it looks like Mopsy might be dressed as a what? Thank you. Mopsy looks like they might be dressed as a, there's apples on there, a hat for being outside. What might Mopsy be? Well, but if he did if they were doing a person's job, they might be a gardener or a farmer, right? Okay. And so when we think about a gardener or a farmer, we think about a person, a being who has a hat, and what else might they have? Some gardening tools. And is that enough? Well, at the beginning of our time together, Steph's read some wonderful words that I think are really important. It says, nothing is itself without, does anybody else remember? Without everything else. Nothing is itself without everything else. And that's kind of like our seventh principle. Do any of the kids know what the kid words for seventh principle is? Some easy words. Do you know what it's about? Is it about the web of life? And how we're all connected? Everything is connected. So that's our seventh principle. That's about the earth, right? Which is what we're celebrating today, is our Earth Day. But I want to talk about, if this is a gardener, is it already a gardener? Or if nothing is itself without everything else, what does Mopsy need to be a gardener? We already heard tools. So do you want to bring those tools? Do you see something in the basket? So as we talk about these things, if we find it in the basket, and I'm going to ask you all to call out what you think it takes to make a gardener, if nothing is itself without, say it with me, everything else. If that's the case, then what else do we need? So we're going to put all those things together, and the kids can help by holding them up. If there's something we didn't bring, now hold on now, because we have to announce what they are, then Frank is going to, let's see where, Frank will hang up anything or draw a little picture. There are some markers in there. Can somebody find the basket with the markers and hand those to Frank? Oh, I forgot, Kate. I forgot. I'd got my order out of place. Before we continue, Kate Wojcicki has some poems that are going to start this off for us. Poems that she wrote at school in a lesson. Can you hold that? It was not tipped close enough to your face. You want me to hold it for you?
Yeah. This poem is a cinquain. Plants. Colorful, beautiful, growing, blooming, reaching, planted in the ground. Flowers.
Great, great. Okay, go ahead.
This poem is a haiku. Trees. It starts as a seed. It is growing in the ground. How tall will it get?
Those are beautiful. Thank you so much. Can we give her some applause? Okay, so now, can you stand up and hold it up and tell everyone? Exactly, a squirrel, and you see it in the garden. What else might we use? Would you want to stand up and tell us, William?
We also might use like rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Put in the bottom of things to keep
And actually, everything underneath the soil is rocks, right? Until we get down to the magma. I also wanted to show you this rock. I asked Steph earlier if you can see it. What does this look like? It looks like Ohio. This rock, just as it is, was laying in our front garden as we moved into the house that we live in now. So it has had a plate hook on it forever, and it hangs on the wall. Want to put that down? Okay, who else has something? We don't need to tease with them. Let's just play with them, okay? Who has something we haven't held up yet? Kate? Bird, but just one bird? Really, it represents all the birds, right? And Delilah has a bunny, represents, and what have you got? Dirt. Do we need dirt for a gardener? I think that the gardener better have dirt. What have you got? A butterfly. And what job does a butterfly do? Pollinates. It is a pollinator. And what else might we need? What else have we? Worms. Worms. No, we cannot eat them. We're gonna leave them. Now we're gonna leave them closed, okay? Is there anything else down in there? What else do we need to make the plants grow? A rainy day, but what comes out of the rainy day? Rain. And rain is water, and water is essential for things to grow. We need bees. What else do bees do? You can pass them up. They give us honey, and they pollinate. That's how can you pass?
We need the sun.
Oh, okay, that one was a different. Okay, we've got the sun over there, so can we pass them up to Frank so he can hang up the things that are paper? Just the ones that are paper. We're going to call that a moon, William. Okay. And then, do you need help? There's another thing. Okay, and so what do those represent? The animals, okay. And some of them are farm animals. Do you know the word for farm animals are the ones that, livestock, but they also work with people. What do we call those? Domesticated. And then the bunny might be a wild animal. And a bunch of dirt. And what is that one? Trees, so all of the large growing trees. We've got flowers all around. What else is in there? Anything else in our basket? Okay. And Rock, Ohio. And are there other things that you all can think of that we need? Billy goat? Yep. Oh, write that on there. Please. Spring. So the seasons? Okay, especially around here, other parts of the globe, the seasons don't work quite the same. In California, we don't go into the deep, well, at least in the really warm parts, or in Florida, it doesn't do quite the same as it does here. A goat? Mm-hmm. Grown-ups? Adults? Any other thoughts? Hope? Seeds. Do we have seeds to bring? Did anybody get seeds? Okay. Can we put them in an empty basket there? Let's empty that basket, because when we're finished, we're going to bless those seeds. And where's the compost going to come from? Okay. You're right about the compost. And then what benefit do some of the animals leave on the ground? Huh? Right? So we call that manure usually. And what does manure become? Usually fertilizer. So it's another wonderful fertilizer. And mulch. So if we look at Mopsy here, they could not just put on a hat and become a gardener or a farmer, could they? Without all of these other things to make everything grow. So in the end, let's say it one more time. Nothing is itself without everything else. Okay, so we're going to move Mopsy back, and then Lacey's going to help you bless some seeds.
Okay, does everyone have, here, let's everyone keep our pack of seeds. Just, okay, if you, all right, it's okay. There are enough seeds. It's fine. Just grab your pack of seeds. Grab your pack of seeds. Okay, does every of our young people have a pack of seeds? Okay, very good. It's okay. We are not going to open that. So why don't we hand that to Louise, please? Yeah, I know. The great irony is from the back, when I saw the worms, I thought they had like some jar of actual live worms, not the gummy version. And I was still not surprised when the kids asked to eat them. I was like, oh, they always want to eat the things outside. And then I saw, oh, wait, that makes more sense. Yeah. Who would eat an actual live worm if given the opportunity? There are some takers, note that. Okay. All right, so if you have your seeds, we are going to bless these seeds, okay? So we're actually about to, after this, we are going to head, all of us who have seeds in hand, are going to go outside and we're actually going to do planting of those seeds. Not yet, come back this way. So it means after we bless the seeds, if you do not have your coat on, you will want to keep a hold of your seeds and grab your coat and then head out as folks sing us out. But to bless our seeds, we're going to do something a little interactive. And to all the grown-ups in our space, I know you don't have seeds, so you're going to get the opportunity to do a little clapping, okay? So we're going to start here. On your seed pack, can everyone tap your seeds 3 times? Okay, so now we're going to all do it together. You're going to tap your seeds 3 times again, and you all will clap 3 times, all right? Let's do it. Okay, now, you need seeds here. Okay, grab your seeds. All right, so at the beginning of the service, we called in the directions, and each of those directions represent an element. Those elements are also represented on our altar and in our space. So we're gonna call those again. All right, everyone ready? Are we ready to bless your seeds? Okay. Let the air, fire, and water bless and purify these seeds of the earth. Let them sprout strong and well. Let them grow tall and swell with fruit, maybe, and leaf and stem. Let labor's love well end, and we ask a bountiful harvest to send, as above, so below. Let it be so. So now, in order to encourage these seeds to grow, we all are going to go into our back play area, and we are going to plant these seeds. And then after a short period, we will come back and join in the rest of the service.
the ones who circle round to tend these farms. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive in this great turning. We shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these farms. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive in this great turning. We shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love.
So we're going to move into a meditative space for a few minutes now. I want to invite you to make yourself comfortable and to consider, after you've made yourself comfortable, closing your eyes to allow your attention to move within. The invitation here is to just pay attention to what arises within your being in this space. Whenever we talk about the fate of the planet these days, and gifted teachers and speakers work to help us shake off our sense of separateness from nature, there's a really interesting phenomenon that often takes place. As people begin to open to their interconnectedness to all of life and really feel into what that means, there is often this moment where a person will reach a sort of impasse and be unable to go forward with an open heart. So we're going to take a few moments to consider that impasse. Near the end of his life, Master Thich Nhat Hanh was asked by his followers what was the most important thing for them to do. Now, this question was asked in the spirit of activism, whether they should try to work within the system or work without the system. What was the very best way for us to strategize, to try and solve the problems that humanity faces today? But their teacher's answer surprised them. What he said to them was that the most important thing for them to do, for us to do, is to hear within ourselves the sounds of the earth crying. In the many ancient traditions from all over the world, myths and stories are told of the goddess mourning for her lost child. Cybele and her son Attis, Demeter losing Persephone, Mother Mary beneath the cross. The child is lost, and the goddess wept all night. And the goddess wept all night. These myths find a new telling in what is happening on our planet. Biodiversity is declining at a rate that is faster than anything the earth has ever experienced. More than 41,000 species are currently under threat of extinction. Ecosystems are in collapse all over the world, especially in our oceans, as sea temperatures continue to rise. Each species and ecosystem that is lost is a whole family of sons and daughters of the earth that are gone forever. And we know that it's because of us. We know this. And the goddess wept all night. The goddess wept all night. Most people, when confronted with the pain of this knowing, will want to turn away. How can I bear to face and feel the pain of the planet, which is also my pain? How can I keep my heart open? This climate crisis has come to tell us something urgent, not just that we must protect life on Earth, but that we are life on Earth. This climate crisis has come to tell us that we are cells within the living body of the earth. And as that body is being traumatized, we feel that. How could it be otherwise? It is not a private burden. It is a shared experience with our fellow beings. Perhaps you are wondering, what is the use? What purpose does my sorrow serve? In every spiritual tradition, there is a place for mourning, for the power of tears. It is a kind of baptism if we let it be. Grieving is the great lost art of our people. The healing properties of grief we have turned away from. This is responsible for so much of the casual violence and indifference that ails humanity. To be willing to grieve is to give those things that we have been taught to turn away from, sorrow, dying, loss, to give these things their moment and the witness they deserve. To be willing to grieve is to stay with what is dying, not to turn away, but to bear witness to its passing. And our willingness to grieve will make death doulas of us all, not just of people, but of species, of places, of ecosystems. Our grief for the earth is our love for the earth. They are one. How much you grieve is how much you love. And knowing this, feeling the love hidden in the grief, helps keep us from panic or the frozen inaction of despair. Our willingness to hear the earth weeping inside our own hearts is what will galvanize us to do what we can to protect, preserve, restore. It's also what makes joy and rebirth possible. We can honor what has been lost by not turning away from it. We can support and hold each other in this ecological grief. and we can take action to save what can still be saved. In this way, we can honor the tears of the earth, our mother.
Joanna Macy is a Buddhist teacher, a deep ecologist, and she had done for many years what she called despair and empowerment work, that she now calls the work that reconnects. In teaching these about how to respond to the pain of the world, she has a spiral that she uses. She says, we begin with gratitude, always with gratitude. And I think we've done that today. The second step, she says, as we move around, for you all, it's this direction. As we move around, the second step is honoring our pain for the world, recognizing that our pain will not kill us unless we allow it to. So if we take steps to honor our pain, we can then move on to taking action. And from there, we can look at what we've done and come back again to gratitude and move through the spiral. So today we have brought forward this important step of honoring our pain for the world. Joanna uses a lot of different kinds of rituals to help people do that. One of them is the elm dance that we're going to do in just a few minutes. So in her work as a deep ecologist, she had been invited by Russia in the early 90s, several years after the Chernobyl accident had happened, to work with the towns. And you may know that after the Chernobyl accident, there was radioactive clouds were moving toward Moscow. And the decision was made, rather than to risk the lives of the millions of people in Moscow, to seed those clouds over the smaller communities and forests and agricultural land along the way. And so Joanna had been invited in many years later to help the people deal with what they had described as this past tragedy, and she realized was an ongoing tragedy as the people were dealing with illness, as the people were not able to farm, as the people were not able to go into their forests. So she went to many towns, and she in particular, her last stop was a city called Novozhivkov that was a smallish agricultural and light industrial town. And this city had been the most contaminated. The Geiger counter readings were beyond what any other town had been. And while she was there, with the people, she had danced this elm dance that we're going to do a modified version of. And as she did that, she said, I will ask everyone I know as I travel the earth speaking, I will ask everyone to circle up and do the elm dance, and to remember as we do it, to remember the people of Novozhivkov. So this dance is sung in Latvian. It was choreographed by Anastasia Gang, and I cannot pronounce the name of the woman who wrote it and who sings it. But it's available if you can pronounce this name, and I'm not going to try. So what we're going to do is this very simple dance, and it's modified because the space we have today is not perfect, but it's going to do. So when it's time, I'm going to ask anyone who wants to participate to form a circle around the outside ring of the chairs. And then let me tell you now what our steps are, and then I'll repeat them when we stand up. As the music begins, we'll take 4 simple steps, starting on our right foot, backwards, kind of like this. We can walk backwards, 3, 4. And then with the end of those 4 steps, we stop and sway. I don't know if we'll be able to hold hands, but we can hold our hands out if we don't all reach together. And then we turn and we walk in the same direction, going counterclockwise for 4 steps, stop again and sway. If we had a big open space, we could walk together into the center, but we can't. So for the next 4 steps, we'll just take them in space, in place, in time with the music, and as we do it, we'll lift our arms up. And then when we stop and sway, we'll sway like the trees. And then we'll do 4 more steps in place, and sway again with our hands lower, and then we begin again. So I'll go through that again when we get started. About halfway through the song, and we're going to do only half of what Joanna usually does. About halfway through the music, though, I will invite people to begin to speak out the names both of, in mourning, to remember all of the species that have been lost, and also to lift up all of those species or elements of earth. And here the rocks matter as well, the things that we call insentient beings, but I don't believe that. So we can just lift up our words, and I invite the people on Zoom to speak out their own words or to put them in chat, just to be able to include their thoughts as they listen. If you choose to stay in your seats, we ask you just to kind of let your body sway with the process and maintain that quiet, and then you too as well can lift up the words. And so the dance will take us about 3 minutes. So I invite you all now who want to participate to form a circle around the outside ring. Okay, are we anywhere near holding hands? Maybe we can come this way. We're pretty close. So again, as we're getting ready, everything starts on your right foot. We start out by walking 4 steps backwards, and you don't have to be too backwards, it can be slightly turned. We stop and sway for 4 beats, moving right, left, right. And this is slow, right, left. Then we turn and go 4 steps forward, starting always with your right foot, and then we sway, and then we'll do 4 steps in place, dropping hands, lifting arms, swaying with the trees, and then 4 steps in place as if we were moving backwards and rejoining hands. Okay? And this is a big circle and a tight space, so we'll do the best we can with it. If you lose somebody's hand, that's okay. Just keep your hand as if you were holding it. Kevin, are you ready? 1, 2, get ready, right foot, go. 1, 2, you're going this way. We're swaying. Now right foot, go to your right. Your right. Go to your right. 3. Now sway, right, left, right, left. Steps in place, right, left, right, left. Raise your hands, sway. Feel the trees. Now 4 steps in place and rejoin hands and sway. Get ready. Right foot back, moving to your right, to your right. 3, 4, to your right. Don't watch me. We're swaying. Right foot to your right. 1. Open this one's forward. Sway. Okay. Drop hands. 4 steps in place. Four steps in place. Rejoin hands. Sway. Okay. I missed that one. Okay, now we go. To your right, backwards. Stop and sway. Now forward, to your right. To your right. And now sway. Into the center, which is in place. Hands drop. Stepping back or in place. Sway again. And now we can begin to lift up. Okay, we're moving to the back and to the right. For the passenger pigeon, I lift up. To your right. Sway. In place. 1. 4 steps in place. And sway. Right foot back to your right. Say it loud if you have something so we can hear it. Forward to the right. The dolphins, I hear. So thank you all. Thank you. I dream of another day when we can do this in the Great Hall or outside around the labyrinth. And we can, as Joanna says, just circle up and dance in silence because we've all learned the dance.
You can stay where you are. Stay wherever you are. Just wherever you are is fine. Just stay where you are. You can stay standing, you can sit, whatever feels good for you. We're going to settle our bodies. Wherever you are is just fine. Stand, if you're standing with your 2 feet planted, if you're seated, put your 2 feet on the ground, let your spine be tall. Your shoulders are back and down. If you're holding hands, why don't you let go so you're in your own body. You can have your eyes opened or closed, softly open, whatever feels comfortable for you. Just notice your breath. Notice that you are breathing. We are the lucky ones. Gently, slowly, when you feel ready, turn your head and your shoulders and look over your left shoulder. Nice and slow, let your whole torso turn. No need to judge, no pain, no pinching, and just notice what you see. Stay there. Just notice what you observe. And gently, slowly, when you're ready, come back to center. And look to the other side. Turn your head, your shoulders, your torso. Just notice what you see. No judgment, just observe. And gently, when you're ready, come back to center. Notice that you're breathing. We're going to take a journey, a little walk, very brief. So if you're seated, you can stand up. If you're on the floor, ladies, rise up. We're going to walk around gently in a very easy way. You can stay seated if you want, for a beauty walk. So walk around and just call out in your own voice something beautiful that you see, and use all your senses. Use your nose, use your eyes. Yeah. Say it loud so everyone can hear you. Change your direction, change your sight. Look down, look up. Look at someone else. Use your hands, use your eyes, use your nose. A beautiful heart. Say it loud so everyone can hear. And eventually making your way back to your seat. Coming back into your own seat. As we get ready to share our abundance.
I love that song. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Erin Walzewski, and I'm here to talk about our Sharing Our Abundance. If you're a visitor, then I'll tell you that every week when we collect an offering here at our church, it goes not to support our church, but a local nonprofit or a nonprofit somewhere in the world that supports the message we're hearing in our service today. Today we're talking about Earth Day, and our recipient of Sharing Our Abundance is the Cardinal Land Conservancy, which is based here in Southwest Ohio, supporting 5 different counties in land conservation and wildlife habitat restoration across the area. Kevin, through the magic of the internet, is going to show us a live feed right now of one of their local projects that you might have heard about. This has gotten some attention. This is a live webcam of the eagles that are living here in Hamilton County. Has anybody seen this before? By a show of hands, have some of you seen this? By another show of hands, is this new to anybody? So believe it or not, we have bald eagles here in Hamilton County. The bald eagle is a great example of a comeback story. You may remember that in the 60s and 70s, bald eagle populations were decimated around the country, particularly because of the use of DDT. But once that use was banned, and once the work of organizations like the Cardinal Land Conservancy brought back habitats and made them thrive again for animals like the bald eagle, they have come back to our area. In 1969, we had 4 known bald eagle nests in our area. Today, we have almost 20. This one is a live camera set up. Does anybody, oh, you can see, we've got kind of tail feathers showing here. Yes, if you click play, you'll be able to see there's 2 cameras. One is the overhead view. They're both live, so this is live TV. We don't know really what the birds are going to do while we're doing this. Oh, they're eating. Great. Does anybody know what a baby eagle is called? An eaglet. Can you see how many there are in this nest? I think there's 3. So the Cardinal Land Conservancy has named these eagles who live right here in our county. Bonnie and Clyde are the name of the mom and dad here. They have 3 eaglets that hatched last month. They'll be in the nest for about 10 to 12 weeks before they leave. But one of the things that surprises people is that we have them here in our area. All they need is a water source, and both the Ohio River and the Little Miami River, this nest that you're seeing on the live camera is right at the intersection of those 2 rivers. All they need is a water source to be able to bring those fish back to the nest. So our Sharing Our Abundance today is going toward the Cardinal Land Conservancy, which does all sorts of projects, including land conservation, easement monitoring, habitat restorations, and their latest project, the Eagles. We are donating to their fund generally, but everybody can access this on the internet. My kids love to watch the Eagles, and they especially like it when the mom or dad arrives with a fish to eat. And I will say separately, I'll just promote something they're doing right now. If you donate $25, you get a chance to submit a suggestion for a name for one of the baby eaglets. So if you're on Zoom or watching this in the future, the link will be in the chat. We will now gratefully welcome any contributions you choose to make to the Cardinal Land Conservancy.
We'll release the directions in the reverse order of how we called them in. So if you'd like to come to standing. We thank the spirits of the above, the below, and the within. Stay if you can, go if you must.
Face the north. Hail and farewell, spirits of the north. Thank you for your guidance today.
Hail and farewell, spirits of the west. Thank you for your guidance today.
Hail and farewell, spirits of the south. Thank you for your guidance today.
Hail and farewell, spirits of the east. Thank you for your guidance today. Go if you must, stay if you will.
The circle is open but unbroken, and we're going to continue by making a circle. Actually, just sort of stay where you are and grab a hand. We'll do it that way. Yeah. Great. And yeah, maybe Flopsy's included in our circle too. The peace pole, everyone home at Zoom, watching in the future, the spiral of time and space. Repeat after me, if you will. May the spirit of life, that each of us possesses, flow from one to the other, and stay with us, until we meet again. Hey, yeah. Thank you. And there are wonderful cookies in the Great Hall for everyone to enjoy.
It's my phone.